Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here in front of all of you this afternoon to celebrate Jubilee Day. And I'm thankful for all those that came to this podium before me and acknowledged some of the distinguished folks in the room. But there are some particular people that I want to specifically go and shout out. First off being my fiance, Ariana Baldwin. Along with my mother and her mother as well coming out, and Tanya and their family coming to support me as well. I want to acknowledge my pastor, Reverend Dr. L.A. Lewis. I want to acknowledge John McNeil, the new county attorney for the city of London. I want to recognize Delegate Sam Russell. That title might be changing soon, y'all, so we got it. But I'm so thankful. I want to acknowledge all the youth in the NAACP youth branch. I want to acknowledge the president, Christian, who I've known since forever. Curly head, little boy that has become an awesome young man. I'm so proud of. I want to also thank you, Ms. Paris. I want to thank you for the introduction. I always find it awkward to hear an introduction read about myself, but one of the things that always comes to mind is that I'm thankful and I'm grateful to my God.
Amen.
I want to acknowledge the mayor of this great city, Mayor Phazhon, and Dr. Brenda Hale as well. I want to make sure to give her flowers for all she's done and her life in our community. As I prepared my heart and my words for today, one thought that kept running through my mind about Jubilee Day this year was that it just felt a little different. It felt a little different because this year our nation's preparing to celebrate 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. 250 years since America proclaimed liberty. 250 years since it wrote down a promise bold enough to inspire the world. 250 years of a nation still struggling to this day to fully live up to those words that it declared. And as I reflected on that milestone, something came apparent to me that I don't think many of us think about. It dawned on me that black people have been in America before America was America.
All right.
It dawned on me that we are more American than apple pie.
All right.
And the truth matters, because America did not rise on ideas alone. It rose on the backs bent by burden, the hands hardened by labor, and the spirits sustained by faith. And even under that immense weight of chains, we did more than survive. We uplifted and helped build this nation. We gave birth to something extraordinary. And then came January 1st, 1863. In the midst of a divided nation, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and freedom was declared. But I have to be honest with you all and tell you all a difficult truth to acknowledge. Abraham Lincoln was not an abolitionist.
That's right.
Abraham Lincoln did not believe black people should or could live beside white people. Abraham Lincoln believed in colonization. He believed early on when he first started drafting the Emancipation Proclamation the idea of sending freed blacks, formerly enslaved folks, to Africa or to the Caribbean. That's the truth. He didn't believe men, because forget women, they didn't think about women at that time. He didn't think black men were entitled to the same rights as white men. And this history matters because it explains so much of our story. And as I did deeper research, I found a quote of Abraham Lincoln saying that this is a military necessity. At the time, the Union was losing the war to the Confederacy, and he did this move as a way to help weaken their labor force, destabilize their economy, and cripple the Confederacy. Because that's the power black people had, even enslaved.
That's right.
That is the power and that is the role we played in history. But this truth matters, even though it's ugly, even though it's dark, even though it doesn't fit the common narrative, because it explains why freedom was declared, but equality was not delivered.
That's right.
Why slavery was disrupted, but justice was not secured.
That's right.
And why chains were broken, but the systems were allowed to remain the same.
Tell the story, son.
The Emancipation Proclamation was a turning point. It is critical in the story of who we are. I'm not denying that. But it was not the be-all, end-all. So as the work has passed forward from generation to generation to us now, while the physical chains were removed, new chains were forged. Chains of Jim Crow, chains of redlining, chains of mass incarceration, chains of over-policed neighborhoods, chains of economic disparity passed down like an unwanted inheritance. And today, we still feel the weight of those chains. Y'all, we are living in very uncertain times. We are living in a time when history itself, the truth, is under attack. When truth is no longer debated, it is dismissed. When telling the story of who we are is labeled as divisive. When President, that guy, when that guy got to Washington, one of the first things he did was attack our institutions that hold and tell history, like the Smithsonian. And one of the first that he targeted of the Smithsonian was the Museum of African American History. And I'll also add, we were one of the last people out of all the groups in this country to get a museum to tell our story. We are living in a time where black voices are talked over, black stories are pushed aside, and black pain is being treated as inconvenient. We are not witnessing progress, the progress that so many that have walked before us, marched before us, sung before us, sat in before us, worked, sacrificed, were beaten and died for. We're not seeing that progress. In fact, we are watching regression. And the consequences are not abstract or theoretical, but they will be felt, and they are being felt. Felt in the reality that nearly half of those living in public housing in America are black. Felt in the hospital rooms and the clinic lines, where millions of black Americans rely on Medicaid, not as a luxury, but as a lifeline. To receive care, to survive, for the ability just to live another day and live life. At the same time, the cost of living keeps rising, and more of our people are being forced to play the game I like to call this or that. Do I pay this or do I pay that? Do I buy groceries or do I buy my medicine? Do I keep the lights on or do I keep the heat running? Do I save for my tomorrow or do I spend this money today to give my child the desires of their heart? And as I often like to say, the thinner a dollar stretches, the heavier hope feels. Dreams grow heavier. Not because our people lack ambition, not because we're lazy, because we know that is far from the truth. We are one of the hardest working groups of people. You think about any industry that has ever existed in America, it was black men and black women making it thrive, making it work. From agriculture to the railroad industry in this very city, we were a part of all of it. So it's not because we lack ambition, it's not because we're lazy, it's not because our people just don't care about our futures. But it's because the ground beneath us has never been stable. And it is continuously shifting. But still, our people press forward. Because many of us, and I put this in here for the young people, many of us are trying to be the first in our families, the first to go to college, the first to graduate maybe high school or college, the first to get married, the first to buy a home, the first to chase our dreams and fulfill the promises we make to ourselves. Some of us are trying to be the first to live past a certain age, especially as black men.
That's right.
So yes, we are under attack. The integrity of our country, the social safety nets that our people depend on are under attack. And the effects will be felt. However, this is nothing new to us.
That's right.
We have known this from the time we were in the fields. We have known this from the time we were walking through the rivers, singing spirituals to keep our spirits uplifted. We've known this since we were walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, directly into the face of enemies who sat on high horses with clubs and guns, threatening our lives. But those that marched knew we must and we have to keep pressing forward. And that spirit, that resolve, lives in each and every one of us. Because we are the descendants of the most valuable players in American history. So here we are today, still standing, still believing, still moving towards a promised land that we might not ever fully get to see. But we know one thing is real. No weapon forged in fear has ever erased our dignity.
That's right.
No law rooted in hatred has ever silenced our truth. No season of suffering, no matter how long or how dark, has ever destroyed our song. And in moments like these, I remember the words spoken by a great philosopher of our time, Kendrick Lamar. Where he made a song claiming that we gonna be all right. And if you don't know the song, get in your car and blast it. It's how you start your new year off right. But he wrote a song talking about how we gonna be all right. Because we've always been all right. Regardless of the season, regardless of the obstacle, regardless of the systems we were placed in, we've always overcome, we've always adapted. And that's why some of them hate us. That's why they're jealous of us. That's why they're envious of us. Because they're not cut from the same cloth. They don't got the same junction in them. When times get hard, some crumble. We get tougher. We are the children of survivors, the heirs to unwavering faith, the living testimony of justice delayed, but justice not denied. We were all right before freedom was ever named. We were all right when justice moved slow. We were all right when hope had to be whispered. Whispered. Not because of the struggle, not because the struggle was light, but because our spirit was strong. Because our faith was and is deeper than our fears. Because fear is real. But I have another quote. Y'all got my one quote about the thinner a dollar gets, and I promise you, if I hear y'all saying this and I don't get quoted, I'm gonna pull you to the side. But another quote that I have is fear is real. We all feel it. I felt it this morning. Knowing I was going to be in front of all of you all, knowing that I was representing myself, my family, knowing that people were coming here to depend on me to get a message and something to help power them through this new year. I was a little afraid this morning. But fear is also a choice. We can choose to let it hold us back. We can choose to let it capture us. Or we make the choice to push through. We make the choice to overcome. We make the choice to meet the moment, no matter how big it seems and how small we feel. We make the choice to keep on moving on. So that's the second Phazhon quote no one got today. So as we go into this new year, I want to be sure that we do not forget who we are. Times may get harder. The news may get more depressing. But it's going to be all right. Because we've always been all right. Thank you. God bless you. I love you all. Have a happy Jubilee day.